So we'll continue with that session, and we'll no audio.
Yeah. Yeah, it's audible.
No. From for Kolkata, guys. So can you able to hear me? All of you people?
Yes, Chennai, okay.
Chennai, okay. And for Kolkata, guys, I don't think. Hello? Hello? Yeah, from my side, everything is okay. Hello? Just five more minutes. We'll start the session.
Ranjit, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Sorry,
now it's fine.
yeah.
Can you able to hear me?
Right. Yeah, I can able to hear you. Please go
Okay. Okay, fine. So today we'll discuss about multicam as well as 5.1 mix in DaVinci, right? And we'll see a little bit about the Fairlight also.
Okay.
And there is one more thing. We'll be not going to discuss about the color page that much. Why? Because there is a separate session for color, maybe 4 to 5 days. I don't know when they will fix the dates, those dates. So your telecine people also will join in those sessions. So that's why we are skipping that portion. We'll stick with whatever editing and compositing portion. Okay. About color, in-depth session will be maybe after 2 weeks or somewhere, I don't know. So your management need to fix those dates, right?
Okay. Ranjit, can you just give us a small intro for the color panel and all?
Yeah, I will do.
Small intro.
Definitely. I will explain
Okay.
basic things, basic color correction.
Yeah, at least the interface and the.
Yeah, sure. Why? Because I got a mail from you people actually about the
Okay.
about the color session. So they are making
Okay.
it a 5-day session only for color grading. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know when they will fix, but I'll try to explain most of the basic thing in color page, maybe tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. So then let's start with the multicam. So we have seen a basic multicam editing yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, let me go through that one more time. Yeah. So yesterday we did only with the camera audio. Today we'll add even the master audio also, original one, right? Can you able to see the mouse pointer?
Yeah.
Uh, Just a minute. So today we are going, we add even master audio to the multicam also. So just select all the clips, right click, create multicam clip using selected clips. Yesterday we have seen how to sync uh, master audio with the pilot audio also, right? And we have seen how to use sync bins in cut page. So create multicam. And here we can use all these options, syncing options. These are like all old ones, like we can use in point, we can use out. And so most of the television people, they go with the time code, right? And here we can use even markers also if we can find the common point, but here I'm using audio only. So select audio and create. It will try to read the audio waveform and it will create a new multicam clip. So just double click. So try to play. So system audio, is it audible? System audio, is it okay? Yeah, fine. Okay. Now, so before starting editing, if you see the arrangement of multicam clips, the first angle is showing audio only, right? So I want it to be the last, or maybe if you want to adjust your uh, angle orders, I want to see master uh, wide camera angle, close camera angle to be my first two video angles on multicam. We can change or we can modify multicam clip by right clicking and select open in timeline. So right now we open that one in a separate timeline so that we can able to modify multicam clip. If there is a problem with the syncing, sometimes due to the frame rate, for some cameras we do get lag, a little bit of lag, the frame differences, right? Maybe 1 or 2 frames. So at that time we can able to adjust those things in timeline by opening the multicam editing timeline. We can do all kinds of edits, like we can move the clips or we can adjust it frame by frame and everything, right? And so here we can able to change the angle order also. Like we can do it manually, but instead of doing it manually, it's always better to do by right clicking here. We can move the track upwards and downwards, right? Select here, move track up, track down. We can use all these options. So, so now I want this track to be my first track. So move track down, right? Move track down and like that. Now, just observe the angle arrangement. Now what we did, we made our wide angle as the first camera angle and the angle viewer, right? So like this, we can change the camera angles. But if you want to increase or if you are working with more than 4 cameras, most of the programs with the 12 to 14 cameras, right? So at that time we can able to change the view options also, right? In a single viewer we can say up to 16 camera angles. If there are more than 16 camera angles, it will show you a separate page at the bottom of your viewer, source viewer, okay? But right now we have three video angles along with one audio, right? So now we'll start to edit. just go back to your timeline. You can either double click here, or if you enable this option, we can able to change our timeline view from here also. Okay. Now, if we need to cut out the multicam clip, then we can always add in and outs, try to add those things, right? But I'm adding overall clip here by simply dragging it from the browser. Okay. Right. But we are unable to see the real-time playback here, right? Even in the canvas also, we are not seeing anything other than the blank portion. Why? Because here we have selected the audio angle, right? So I'll do one thing, select here. We need to select this multicam option. This will work only after adding multicam clip to the timeline. Then only we can able to load that clip. Okay. Now see, if I select, I'm trying to select this one. Like, let me start from this portion. Yeah. Now we can able to see the camera angle, right? But what we are doing, there is a problem with the audio. We need to stick with the original audio. That means with this one. So I will do one thing. Instead of cutting everything, we'll make this one as a standard audio. So here we have already selected audio and video. So we just need to select this one. We need to cut only video from the remaining camera angles. That means all the 3 camera angles, it will add only the video file. So just select it. Now, now if you observe the audio section, so there is no cuts in between audios, right? Because we made it as a standard audio for entire multicam clip. Right. And if you want to do it in a manual way by cutting the entire timeline based on beat also, you can do that thing by using Command B key. But you need to lock down the audio track. And after cutting down, if you want to make changes to any of the angles, right here, instead of showing it the wide angle, I want to show maybe guitarist. Simply right click here. We can able to switch multicam clip angles here. Angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, right? So we can able to switch here. But the better one is we can always switch it from the canvas from here. So let's say I want to switch this angle with this one. You need to hold option key. Just hold option key. When you hold option key, it will, the blade will turn into this, it's a kind of a switching thing. When you click this one, it will automatically add that angle at your selected clip portion or maybe at the playhead portion. Now, right now, we are in selection tool, right? But when there is a multicam clip in your timeline, it will always act as a trim tool. So you won't get any problem with the non-sync also, right? We are not trimming a single clip. We are just rolling both the edit points. Okay. Now, this we are doing this one with a single clip. But what if I have multiple clips from a single camera? What if you have multiple clips from a single camera? That depends on your camera metadata. So let me show you a simple one. So here we have more than one clip from a camera. Okay, but you should see the time code. You should see the time code or metadata for a particular clip. So basic thing we can able to see by clicking these three dots. So other than that, let's find out what are the options available in multicam. So I'm simply selecting all the camera angles, right click. Right now I'm not going with the audio. So create new multicam clip. Here we have one option, detect clips from same camera. You need to select this one. Then only we can able to use these options. Okay. When I select this one, now we can use metadata of the camera. That means, let's say top 3 clips are from a single camera. Let's say it's a cam one. So if you have a camera number, camera ID, maybe angle or any other kind of metadata, we can able to select it from here. The angle, reel number, reel name, roll card, camera. Basically, we use camera name or camera number. So this will be available. If available, you can see that thing in your metadata, right? So select any of the clip. Let me close this one. So metadata. From here, go to maybe here you can able to see, or you can able to enter if you don't have metadata. So based on this metadata, it will try to arrange all the camera angles, right? If you have a multiple clip from cam one, it will try to add all those in a single track. So is it clear? If you have a multiple clips from a single camera, how to sync all those things? We just need to use this option. Right? We just need to use this option. Based on metadata, it will try to sync all the camera angles. Okay. So if you don't select this one, it will try to create a camera angle for each and every clip. So right now, if we create a multicam clip, you will get overall 8 tracks, but it's supposed to be 3 tracks. So if we want to be a 3-track multicam clip, we need to select this one based on metadata. So here I'm selecting camera, and then it will try to read the metadata, try to add the clips from the same camera in a single track. Okay. Is it fine? Hello?
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not getting any response from you guys. That's why. So is it fine with the multicam?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what if you want to add a new angle to to one of the created multicam clip? So I'm just deleting this one. So we have already created a multicam clip, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to add one more angle to this multicam clip, so right now we have created with the 3 camera angles. Let's say there is a 4th camera angle also. We have missed out that 4th camera angle. So if you want to add that 4th camera angle also, we just need to open it in a timeline, but it's a kind of manual way. Manual way means let's say let's say this one is a let's say this one. This is from 4th camera. We need to sync this one with already created camera angle. Okay. We just need to find a common point. Maybe the beat of the audio. Let me, maybe we can use audio waveform. So exactly at this portion, I'm adding a marker. Okay, so I'm just adding a marker. Here what I'm doing is like I'm just identifying the proper portion, the common area to sync with the multicam clip. Now we can use this marker somewhere here. Like if you observe the waveform, we are seeing the same thing, right?
Same thing, yes.
Yeah, we'll try to align the marker with the playhead thing. So you can do it manually also, but just by dragging it like this, right? Now we have added. So one more camera angle. Now see, I think you already know that thing, right? The out of sync option. Why? Because we have disabled the link tool. That's why we got this problem. By right clicking, you will get the same options. Slip into sync, move into sync options. We'll get in Premiere and FCP, right? So those things, same thing by right clicking, you can move back into the sync. So here. Now, if you go back to your multicam clip, so add that multicam clip to your timeline. Now we can able to see the fourth camera angle also. Let me, yeah, maybe which one we have created, this one I think. No, not this one. So I'm confused with these two clips. I think this one we have created, right, with the fourth camera angle. This is the one, right? We have added. Now we have added the fourth camera angle also to an already created multicam clip. But we do have that flexibility in DaVinci. Right? We can create, we can add even more than 64 camera angles if we have. Right? That means there it's a, those are lot of camera angles, right? 64 camera angles means. And once you finish with your multicam edit, you can right click. We can able to flatten the multicam clip, right? If you don't want to, once the edit is done, you can always bring it back as a single clip, the flatten option. You already know this option, right? Even we have this option in Final Cut Pro 7 also. So whatever the camera angles, unused camera angles there, we are removing all those camera angles. By using this option, we can able to remove all those camera angles. It will be like a single clip. So after finishing the edit, we can able to flatten the multicam clip also, right? So, and when it comes to color grading, so if it is a multicam edit, we need to do the matching and everything, right? So we can do that one in a color page. But when you observe this one, we can able to see only one clip, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I will try to explain all the controls, most of the controls in the color page also. But before that, if you are a color grading a multicam clip, so you need to open that multicam clip. Right click, click open in timeline. Right. Now we can able to see the tracks. Now we are seeing all the clips, right? Now we are seeing all the clips with the timeline view option. So we can able to see selected clip within the timeline, within the source viewer. If you are not seeing anything, we need to disable enable this one, the layered option. So I will explain little later what is this one. Okay. So I will try to explain a color page with a different clip. Is that okay? Other than multicam clip? Because yeah,
Prajit,
yeah.
see, for example, after slicing the video,
Okay.
after slicing all the video, after that we are flattening all the clips.
Huh.
Then again, if I want to come back to the slice portion,
Yeah,
means
we
whether it
can
is
do
possible.
it will toggle the selection.
Okay.
Same like in
But
FCP.
while doing the color correction also, I can do clip by clip, right?
But the thing, same thing, we can do the clip by clip. But
Okay.
observe
Because
here,
here it is showing tracks.
yeah. So observe here, we are not seeing cuttings and everything here, right? We are only seeing the source clips. Why? Because
Source clips, yeah.
we are doing color correction for the source clip, not for the timeline clips. For the timeline, we need to do for each and every cut, right? If you are doing color correction for the source clip, it will be applied to all your timeline edit. So most
But
of
after the switch also, I can do the color correction, right?
Yeah,
after the switching.
After the switching also you can do the color correction, but we need to do lot of the work. Like you will get lots of cuts in your timeline, right? Each and every cut will be a separate clip for you in color page.
So instead of that, you are doing it in the source itself.
We are doing color grading for the source.
Source, okay.
It's always better to do the color grading for the source. We don't need to do it again and again for edited one, right? So wherever this clip in your timeline, it will be affected to all that cuts. Why? Because we are doing color grading for the master clip. Cleared?
Yes.
Actually, it's a good option. It's a good option. Instead of color grading each and every cut, we can always do. But if you have a problem with somewhere the lighting or any other problem at some portion, you can always do with the timeline version also for that particular clip. Okay. But for that, we need to switch back to the timeline. Let me show you that thing also. Now, I'm just doing a basic cut. Let's now go back to the color page. Now we can able to see the different cuts right here.
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
But
because
after flattening also, I can able to see the cuts.
Cuts. Yeah, exactly. Whatever the cuts in your timeline, you can able to see those cuts within the color page. But what we did earlier, like we loaded our multicam clip into our timeline, and we are doing color correction on that clip, right? The two ways. So is it clear with the multicam clip?
Yeah, very clear.
Yeah, and anyway, we already started color. Let me explain a little bit about the interface. Okay, so I'll try to do it with a different clip. And of course, whatever the content you are seeing, those are all proxies. Those are not raw content. Some of the options we may not able to see in color page also. Now see. So color. How many of you are dealing with color?
Here I have two flame artists with me. They'll be doing some color corrections.
Within the flame?
Yeah.
Okay. Like any idea about the DaVinci?
I know little bit of DaVinci. I have worked.
Yeah, actually, sir, I'm hearing only your voice from the starting day, but I'm not seeing you actually.
Sorry. 1 minute.
Yeah, it's up. Okay. I thought it is from Chennai team.
No, no. Chennai team is also. I hope they are also. The flame artist is sitting there also.
Okay, okay. Somebody from the right side is the only person asking questions. I think today he wore the red shirt, maybe.
Who? See, I'm here. I'm Abdul.
No, from Calcutta. Sorry, from.
I am from Kolkata. We are from Kolkata.
Okay.
I am
Now-
flame artist.
Yeah.
Yesterday I asked you.
Yeah. I do remember you. And there is one more person. Okay, he's also a flame artist, I think. Because of the time, they got disconnected. The Chennai people, let them join the session. And if the same thing
Okay.
happened to you, also you need to rejoin. Okay.
Sure. We will join. Less than a minute it is showing.
Yeah. Okay. Can we have a logo
Can
or
we go out and come back? Yeah. Can we go out and come back?
for 5 minutes?
Yeah. No, not for. I'm not asking for a break. It is in my
Okay.
system.
You are just disconnecting. Yeah, fine. That will be fine.
Yeah, and I will give you a.
Okay. And same thing with the support team also. You just disconnect and rejoin.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Okay. You will be disconnected after 40 minutes. That's the issue. So you need to
Oh.
reconnect. You need to reconnect.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, then shall we start?
Yeah.
So anyway, we have only a one clip within our timeline. So that's why we are seeing only that clip in color page. So if you are unable to see any of the clip here, you need to enable this option, clips. Okay. Clips are, if you are unable to see the timeline, you need to go through this option. I'm quickly, I will try to explain the overall interface, right? So here it's a viewer kind of thing. Okay. And this is, and you all know LUTs anyway, right? Lookup tables. So you can able to browse all the related LUTs without applying itself. You can able to see the preview also. Just go through the mouse. Just go over your mouse at the thumbnail. We can able to see without applying the LUT. Okay. Now, anyway, we do have media pool, timelines, and everything. But whatever the controls, all those controls are available at the bottom section. Right now, anyway we are using the proxy media only. It's not a raw content. By double clicking, we can able to see the name or maybe the codec also. But when you observe here in the info tab, the source resolution is showing 10-bit, right? Usually you people get 10-bit or 8-bit?
10-bit now.
10-bit.
10-bit.
Yes.
Yeah. 10-bit means, do you know the difference between 10-bit and 8-bit? What is 10-bit and what is 8-bit? Yeah, maybe most of you people. it's related to the color shades, right? We'll only get 256 color shades in 8-bit, whereas in 10-bit we'll get 1024 color shades. That means with all the three primary colors, RGB colors, you will get some around 1 billion color shades. Whereas for 8-bit you will get only some around 16 million color shades. So when it comes to color grading, this is a lot more flexible. We can able to manipulate much better than compared to the 8-bit, right? So here the basic control, if you have a raw footage, then this one, the color charts to match the color and everything. You can based on the used color chart, we can able to select the particular color chart here. Now, so no, not this one. Let's say they have used this color chart. We can able to assign this color chart by using this option. We just need to align with the color and just match. It will automatically, based on used colors, it will automatically analyzes and matches those colors, right? But anyway, we'll discuss in-depth color in a separate session, right? I'm just trying to explain a bit of color. Now, here we do deal with most of the time with the primary wheels, right? Primary wheels. So lift, gamma, gain wheels, right? Let me, yeah. So I'll try to color grade this portion, and the extreme right portion is your layer node. Node area. Nodes are like a layers. Usually by default you will get a serial node. Serial node is there are different kinds of nodes here. The serial node, these two are similar. Serial before node is, it will actually add before the selected one, and the parallel layer nodes are different things. If I have a compositing, like if we try to do the secondary color correction, most of the time we'll use these parallel and layer node. Outside node is a kind of mask thing. Okay, so here I'll try to explain the primary correction. Now, how can we able to read the clip, the color, brightness, and everything? We do need a video scopes, right? Based on video scopes only, we can able to estimate the highlights and shadows and everything, the saturation levels, right? So if you want to enable those video scopes, just click here. You will get those standard, the RGB parade, waveform, vector scope, and everything. Now see, if you want to see all the 4 video scopes at a time, you can able to see. But here I am just using a waveform monitor only. Okay. Now, so as I said, it is a 10-bit. That is why we are seeing the number of shades. Actually, it's a 0 from 1023. That means a 1024 shades. Okay. Now, so here anyway, for this clip, we need to adjust the shadows. So go to the shadow controls here. This will adjust the exposure levels. Okay, when you drag it to left, we are adding shadows. Okay, when we drag it to right, we are losing the shadows, right? Shadows, I'm just adding shadows. And the gamma is for midtones. Highlights, right? And whereas this one is a offset is a master control. Okay. And this middle portion, okay, we'll try to add the color to the middle portion. Okay. Now, if you want to reset anything, you just go through this back arrow where we can always reset the particular thing. Okay. And let's say I did a primary color. I'm not doing much, whereas I'm just increasing the saturation and everything. Okay. And I need to deal with the sky. Let's say I want to make adjustments to the sky. Now for that we need to add one more node. Right click, so add node, just serial node. Now this will be your input and this will be your output, right? So let's say this is the layer 1. Now it's a layer 2. Okay. uh, just give me a minute, I will be back, just 2 minutes. Okay,
Okay, sure.
just 1 minute.
பாலாஜி சார்,
சொல்லுங்க சார்.
சார் அங்க யார் யார் இருக்கா? பாஸ்கர் சார் இருக்காரா?
எல்லாரும் தான் பண்றாங்க.
வினோத் இருக்காரா? 3 பேர் தான் பார்க்க முடியுது என்னால. ஹாய் ஹாய்.
As usual அந்த மூலையில
கந்தா, ஹாய் கந்தா. கந்தா
Sorry.
அது கர்ச்சீஃப்.
It's a delivery guy from Amazon. I'm sorry. Okay.
No problem.
Now we did primary correction for the first node, and we'll do the secondary, that means the selected portion. Maybe if you want to mask out a certain portion, maybe sky or maybe some portion. Now here I want to adjust the color of the sky. So I'm not doing it precisely. So here we do have options for the secondary corrections, the curves and everything. Okay, the curves. For this clip we can use these two options. Either we can go for the curves or we can use the qualifier also. Okay, so let me show you. Within the curves we have these options: hue versus hue, hue versus saturation. That means color versus color, color versus saturation, that thing. Hue versus hue means we are just selecting the color and we are modifying that color. Here I'm selecting hue versus hue. Now you just need to select that required portion. It will automatically identify that portion here. Okay, now you can able to adjust the range of that particular color. Okay, now can you see the difference? But we need to adjust more and more of the range based on your clip only. But instead of using curves, we can use the qualifier also. Okay, to pick the certain portion, certain color. Now just drag to pick the average portion. Now if you want to see the selected one, you just need to click the highlighter. Okay, you just need to click this button. Or if you want to add some other portion, here you can able to remove and you can able to add to the selection, and we do have the feather option also. It will smoothen the clip. Now select it. I'm just selecting that portion also. Now even here we are selecting the water and some of the land portion also, right? Because it's the same color. So we can mask out that portion also if you want to. Next to that we have power windows, right? Click this window. Power windows are nothing but masking the rectangle, circular mask. So like a Bezier masking. I'm just using this one. I just want to draw a quick mask like that. We can able to isolate the particular portion and we can able to soften that portion also like that, inside and outside. Now whatever the modification we do, and if you observe the node also, you can able to see the masked out area, right? So whatever the modifications we do, it will reflect only to that particular portion. And as for the qualifier, let me go back to this one. you can use these options also for the precise selections. Okay, and disable this one. And in the first room, we can even select the hue option directly itself. We can able to change the color. Can you see the difference?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Whatever the thing we did, you people already doing in other application like in Premiere or in Flame and everything. The controls are a little bit different, that's it. And we do have multiple tools. Like I'm adding one more node. And I will try to explain it with a layer. It's a kind of compositing layer node or split node, or even we do have a node for separate colors also, the RGB nodes and everything. If you have a noise or any other thing, if you want to work with a particular channel, okay, particular RGB channels, we can have a different node for that thing also. Okay, and about the outside node, now see, we adjusted this portion. I want to adjust the remaining portion also. Let me delete this node. Right click. For that, we do have a separate node. It's called outside node. When I add this node, see the masking area. Can you able to see that one?
Yes, yes.
It will mask out the previous portion, and we can able to adjust the remaining portion by using outside masks. You can use the outside mask, or even this blue color triangle and square represents the alpha channel. You can, if there is any mask, you can able to convert a serial node into an outside node. Delete. Right click. So serial node. And whereas these primary bars are with individual color channels, if you want to adjust the blue color in the highlights area, only the blue, we can able to manipulate that thing. And we do have a log wheels also, log wheels and everything. The curves, different types of curves, the qualifier and the qualifier adjustments, the range of the qualifier, the power window, and this is the tracker. We can able to track the particular portion. For this clip, yeah, there is not much thing to track, but we'll see. I'm not sure from this portion. Yeah, there's no particular point. It's very hard to analyze it. Let me stop this one. Within the tracker, we do have a stabilization option also. That means it is not possible to cover even the basic option also in this session. Maybe that's why they are making it as a separate session for color. You will get 4 to 5 days only for the color grading. That's a good thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the sharpen tools and everything, the blur sharpen tools. If you have a like here are resizing options, most of the time we use resizing in edit page. Sometimes while doing color grading also, we just need to adjust the portion, some of the portion. Sizing means nothing but scaling options. Okay. And this area represent the keyframe area. And in DaVinci, you will get two kinds of keyframes, static and dynamic keyframes. Actually, we already know what are dynamic keyframes, right? Dynamic keyframes regularly we use in edit also, but I will explain what is static keyframes and everything in a different session. And we can always group the clips, ungroup the clips, and we can let me add a one more clip here. We just need to do the comparative thing also sometimes. Like we can able to with the selected clips, we can able to compare and do the color grading also for the selected ones, right? Now we can always do the correction. And anyway, about the color effects and most of the things about the DaVinci we'll discuss in a separate session, right? So let's go back to the edit page. Now we'll discuss about the audio. So before audio, do you want me to explain the project management? The collaborative.
If you can do that, it will be please.
Sir? Hello?
If you can do that, it will be better for us because we missed the first day's class.
Okay, fine. Yeah, even I did not explain anything related to the project management.
Management.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the media management kind of thing, how to create a database, how to create a database for the collaborative workflow, right? So let me go back to the project manager. Okay. So here we have, by default, you will get a local database. This session for the collaborative workflow. Okay. Now, before doing this collaborative workflow, while installing itself, you need to select the Postgres SQL option, the server option. Then only you can able to use this thing. So for that, now, can you able to see the screen? The DaVinci Resolve.
Yes, yes.
It's the image file of the DaVinci. Can you able to see these things?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, while installing, you need to customize. You need to install manually DaVinci Resolve for IT people. You need to customize the installation. You need to select the particular options.
Okay.
While customizing, you will see some options related to the Fairlight and the library of the Fairlight, as well as one option particularly for the DaVinci Resolve project server. The DaVinci Resolve project server. You need to select that option. Then only we can able to use this one. Just double click. And it is only available with the studio version.
Okay.
The project server. So here by default, so okay, let me show you how to create a new database. Just I'm creating a new database. I'm keeping it as a same username and password. Let me make it as okay, testing only. Just create this one. You need to remember the name. You need to remember the name. Testing only. And let's enable sharing for this one. Enable sharing. So otherwise you need to enter the password. Right. So that's it. If you have a shared storage, you need to add that shared storage to the Resolve server, project server. Then only you can able to access that shared storage from your project manager. Okay. Right now we created this one. Just close this one. Now go back to your project manager. You need to create a new database. You need to click a new database. Just click here. You will get two options, connect and create. Okay. We need to connect with already created one.
Okay.
And that one is testing only, right?
Yeah.
Just click add. So now we have that option. We connected to that server.
Okay.
Okay, we have connected to that server. Now, okay, let me create a new project. I'm just naming it as a test. So simply create that one. Now you will find one option under file menu. Go to file menu. Enable collaborative workflow. Before enabling that, just observe this portion. Right now we have project settings as well as project manager. When you enable, when you select enable collaboration, click save. So that's it. You will get two new options, and you will share your project within the database, so that the editor and colorist can simultaneously work with the same project instead of carrying XML as well as the media or project, any other thing. And when you have any shared project within the project manager, you will see this symbol.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this is the simple way. Once you connected, you can able to access, you can able to chat with the colorist or with the compositor, any other people, right? So this is what you people have asked on first day. Somebody from Chennai team. Yeah, right. Yeah, this is entirely related to the installation. The IT people, how they create a how they create and how they add your shared storage to that server. Okay, then only you can able to work with the collaborative workflow. Okay.